My name is Jennifer Shugart, and I serve at the McMinnville campus, and I was asked to share one of my favorite scriptures. Not long after becoming a Christian, I was given the opportunity to lead the women's ministry at our church. I like to think that our pastor wasn't so desperate as to let just anyone volunteer. I hold out hope that he thought I would grow into the position. Fortunately, I had a wise mentor who was patient, understanding, and, wise. In fact, she volunteered to be the speaker for our very first retreat. That was nearly 14 years ago, but I can still remember the countless hours of planning, the excitement, the anticipation, and I can remember how nervous I felt. The theme was Adventures in Purpose, a play on our church name. And the scripture for the retreat was centered around Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. I'm not so great at memorizing scripture, but these verses have stuck with me over the years. I suppose at the time I wasn't able to recognize the gravity of the simple truths in these words. I'm not a person to easily give up control. Over time, as I continue to mature as a Christian, I often recall these verses. Each time I'm reminded to keep my focus on God and not rely on my limited understanding, but to acknowledge God in every situation. I'm reminded to acknowledge His wisdom, to trust in Him, to trust in His absolute goodness, His mercy, His justice, His grace, and His love. God's perspective is perfect, and mine is flawed. If I trust in Him, He will never lead me astray. He will be my guide in the best of times and in difficult times. Learning to trust God and lean on His wisdom has allowed me to experience more than I imagined for my life. It has given me courage when I feel scared or want to give up, refuge when I feel overwhelmed and insecure, and a level of peace I had not known possible when anxiety wants to take over. I think about the decision Doug and I made to adopt and how overwhelmed I was with the process, the financial impact, the concerns of traveling halfway around the world to a foreign country, and the endless list of uncertainty that comes from making such a huge decision with lifelong impacts. Leaning on God and giving up control to Him was instrumental. I leaned on that passage throughout the constant ups and downs and times of uncertainty during that 2.5-year process. I know that if I relied on my own understanding and strength during that time, I would have given up and we never would have adopted our beautiful daughter. Thinking back, I'm reminded that God is in control and He puts me where He wants me, when He wants me there. And when I think of this verse and its truths, it makes it easier for me to move forward. Putting my trust in God takes the pressure off myself to be perfect, and I am able to be confident that His plans will be accomplished in my life.